Oh man, the big one. Here we go. AJ Styles versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. This match is going to be freaking awesome. This is going to be a great match. I've heard that AJ's beat Cena 3 times. I honestly can only remember them having 2 matches. If they had a third one on SmackDown and it snuck by me, I'm not quite sure. I know about the SummerSlam one and the other pay-per-view one where Cena took off the Never Give Up armband and left him in the ring. I guess he beat him for a third time with that No Mercy 3-way, but I don't think they count the 3-way because it's the 3 of them, but I think Ambrose was in there as well. But those might be the 3 matches that they've had, but AJ has defeated him in all 3 of those matches that I've thought of. To me, honestly, Cena's going to have to win that 16 title sooner than later. I would love it if he won if he won it at WrestleMania. As of right now, the only way that he could do that is if he lost this match, somehow entered into the Rumble and won it, or he could just, the Elimination Chamber match is a championship match as well. So if he's going to win it at Mania, he can't do it there. Maybe he just rides it out and becomes the #1 contender between the Chamber and WrestleMania and then wins it that way. To me, honestly, I'm not quite sure. I mean, you don't have AJ Styles beat John Cena this many times and not have a payoff. To me, I can understand it. I mean, the match that I'm trying to get to in my imaginary booking mind would be Undertaker versus Cena at WrestleMania. That's the biggest match that I think that they could knock it out at the park. Definitely AJ versus Cena is going to be a great match at the Royal Rumble. And it's probably the biggest match that you could have. I haven't heard of them saying that the Alamo Dome is sold out. So I'm guessing they'll announce 70,000 fans are there. But to me, honestly, I'm guessing that they really haven't sold the deal out. Styles versus Cena, the promo that they had on SmackDown last night really stepped up the game of these guys going back and forth and being able to show that they really are truly the top 2 guys in WWE, and this is probably the biggest match other than the Royal Rumble match itself. Royal Rumble will always be the biggest match no matter what match you put out there, but as far as bringing people to San Antonio to have the Royal Rumble be a big destination match that people want to go to, this is a big one. I don't know really what to say about it. In this match, I'm going to be picking Cena to get the win over AJ just because of the fact that Cena doesn't let somebody beat them this many times unless there is a plan. And to me, the plan doesn't line up to go to the Royal Rumble. The plan always lines up to go to WrestleMania, and it doesn't make sense for Cena to have the comeback match at the Royal Rumble and then have him lose and then also go on and lose the Chamber and then also go on and do something to become the guy at WrestleMania. I think that they're probably pointing at the Royal Rumble, thinking that, him tying Ric Flair isn't going to be the big one. It's going to be him losing this championship somewhere and then him winning the 17th. And the 17th will be the monumental title win that they will be able to, draw out. When is he going to do it? How is he going to do it? Maybe push to the fact that Cena's doing so many outside things like Saturday Night Live, the Nickelodeon Awards, the Guys' Choice Awards, the Oscars, the Emmys, making movies, doing this, that, and the other, expanding the WWE brand as well as expanding the John Cena brand and becoming this huge monumental superstar. How is he going to be able to fit in to come back and show that he still loves wrestling and he's still the biggest, baddest guy on the block? When Cena made his return on SmackDown, he came out and he said, it's not the next generation, it's my generation. This is me to be able to show that I can still come back and I can still knock it out of the park. No matter how many outside commitments there are, I will always be a full-time guy no matter what they throw around. He has to sort of live up to that reputation that he built, building up WrestleMania 28 with the whole Rock storyline of, this is, this is the guidelines. To being champion, you have to be here. You have to do Raw, you gotta do SmackDown, you gotta do the pay-per-views, you gotta do the house shows, and Rock was just in it to cash a paycheck. That's basically what he was doing. He was coming back to push the Rock brand. He had made some movies that, made a lot of money, but sort of hurt his brand. The Tooth Fairy, the Game Day, didn't really help. I thought that The Rock has made some really good movies, but it wasn't until he came back to WWE to build up WrestleMania 27 as well as build up WrestleMania 28 that he was able to jump on the Fast and Furious bandwagon. He wasn't able to jump on the G.I. Joe franchise and sort of build it on and on and on to where, he is the biggest movie star there is on the face of the earth. It doesn't matter what he puts out. San Andreas, Mona, I went and saw it. They got my money. No, they didn't get my money because the chick at the register rang us up for Trolls, so we had to watch Trolls again, and then we snuck into Mona because that was the movie that we wanted to see anyway. So The Rock didn't even get the Breach family money, which is funny in the long run, but it still made a ton of money. Disney made money, Rock made money. Everybody wins in the long run, so it is what it is. But I still got to see the movie. It's probably the first Rock movie that I've seen in theaters that he's ever made. I got a lot of them sitting on the shelf over there on the DVD shelf that I've bought once they've come out, but I don't think I've seen any of the Rock's movies in theaters. He makes money no matter what. He's not wondering if Steve Breach is going to the movie theaters. But it is what it is. To get back to this one, though, AJ's been a damn good champion. I mean, for the doubts that people had about him coming from New Japan as well as TNA, whether if he was too old, whether if his body was beaten up. If you remember right, the build up to the Wrestle Kingdom show against Nakamura was that AJ had a bad back. He was doing DDP yoga at the time, trying to get his body realigned. How much was he really going to be able to, move into WWE, wrestling almost on a nightly basis on Raw and on SmackDown? And besides for the fact that AJ got injured in his TLC match, which is a given. It's a fucking TLC match. Think of the bump that he took off the top of that ladder, falling off and falling to the floor so many times. He's got to get hurt. The only thing that hurt was a match against Ellsworth against SmackDown, which we got paid off 2 weeks later, and Ellsworth was at the point anyways that I don't think anybody really wanted to see him anymore as it is. Man, this is going to be a good match. It's hard for me to say that AJ's going to lose it, but I think he really is going to win it. I would put my money on Cena, but it's almost like that Packers versus Falcons game. I picked the Falcons, but it was hard to say because of the fact that how do you pick against Aaron Rodgers? AJ has really stepped up to the plate and won matches clean. He's won them dirty, with outside interference, but he's been able to show that he really is a great champion and deserves to be there. People have said that AJ's time on SmackDown is probably limited. I would love to see him be the Rey Mysterio, the Undertaker, the Kurt Angle, the guy who's, even Edge, the guys whose careers were made on SmackDown. Most of those guys, when they moved to Raw, were just afterthoughts. The only reason why they were moved to Raw is because Raw felt like it needed help to maintain being the A brand. So you bring over the biggest star from SmackDown. Yeah, it sort of freshens things up because they had been there so long. But, Rey, Edge, even Kurt Angle didn't really have the success that they had on Raw as they did on SmackDown. It's not like it's because it's the B brand, there's a lesser grade. Those guys stepped it up and really delivered it, and AJ deserves it too. I know that, you got to keep things fresh with limited rosters, with the brand split. There's only so many guys to be there. It's hard to move guys around, but at this point, we've only seen AJ really have feuds against Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and John Cena off the top of my head. There's other established guys that can move into, if AJ's not going to be the champion, move into being that sort of, number 2 angle, or, if he's going to jump back into the title shot soon. I don't think Cena, once he wins the championship, is going to be holding it a long time with all of the outside things that John Cena does, as well as the fact that John Cena has proven that he's injury prone. So he'll be right back in that title picture if he stays on SmackDown. But from all the word I've heard, don't be surprised if he has to jump over and become a member of Raw sooner than later, because the fact that he's worth more. Because, yeah, he had the title matches against Roman after WrestleMania, but he's been able to show on SmackDown that this is a guy that really can deliver and blow it out of the park. So it's hard for me, but I'm picking Cena. I think Cena's getting the win at the Royal Rumble.